All right, welcome, Curtis.
Thanks for having me.
Amazing having you here. We met originally through IHF, right?
Yeah, probably a sauna chat or something like that, probably.
Often starts in the sauna, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you tell the listeners about what you got going on?
So I have a Tallow Skincare business in Christchurch. Mostly we've been selling online, but now we're moving to more retail. So it's kind of we launched iPress Go on this brand on the 1st of January, and it's just kind of exponentially grown from then. So yeah.
So as of time of recording, late 2025, so about 10, 11 months old.
Yeah.
Pretty young then.
Yeah. It's been a bit of a learning curve.
What's allowed for such rapid scale? If you were to condense that to 1 or 2 points.
Rapid scale, I think keeping my processes like really streamlined so that the product can grow with the scaling of my ads. Like I do a lot of paid ads as our sort of way to generate sales, and most of our sales are done through the website. So the good thing about website is you get the money back pretty quickly. You're not waiting ages, so you can just put it back in, and it's pretty quick. But at the start, definitely keeping our product lines low and streamlined that's definitely made a big difference, I think.
Yeah. And we've got a few of them there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are our better sellers, I'd say. This one's a more recent one. But yeah, I think we started with only like four, and now that we've got like the team there, we can add some more products. So that's the plan. Is
How many different products are you up to now?
well, we're adding about 5 in the last couple of weeks. I would say we're probably not far off, probably 15 or 20, I would say. But a lot of it has been added more recently. So we literally had only a few for the first like 7 or 8 months.
Got
I'd
it.
say.
Yeah. And what exactly is tallow? Is it fat?
Yeah, beef fat.
Yeah.
So it's like suet. So it's like the fat from around the kidney sort of area.
Right.
So it's a bit whiter and cleaner than like the general fat.
Yeah.
So I actually, when I first started, I was selling bone broth, and at the markets, lady wanted me to keep the fat. And when I asked what she was doing with it, she was using it for a rash on her hand.
Right.
That fat is very different to this fat. So we transitioned away once we sort of found the market there. But yeah.
Interesting. And how did you get into the bone broth?
So that was started because of the gym, actually. So I was, training hard at the time, and the joints were feeling a bit of wear and tear. And I found that collagen is like the bone broth is good for collagen. And, so that's where that started. I saw how much I was spending on broth from the shelf. And then I was like, actually, I could make this myself. And, that was kind of a first little venture, but
Yeah, right. Interesting. And what exactly is collagen?
To be honest,
Not too sure.
I don't know the like real details about it. I just searched like what helps joint health. Collagen is one thing that came up. It's like another like real trending thing. I think it's quite you can get it from bone broth, but you can also get it from like a bunch of other places. You can get like marine collagen and that sort of thing too, I think.
Yeah. That's what I was curious about. I remember a product that a friend started that had marine-based collagen in it, and it just got me thinking.
Yeah. It's definitely a growing space, I think. So
yeah, for sure. And so, were you in a day job when you started the business?
Yes.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So I worked at a software company in town here, and this was on the side, and quickly it changed to being, I was at work and I was going to work there, and I had probably either 4 or 6 employees that I had to keep busy, and it was just getting a bit ridiculous. So,
What was the first hire? What was the first team member?
It was someone to help with the shipping, because at that time we were like manufacturing at night, and then I'd get up in the morning and pack all the orders, and then it started getting later and later, and I'm like, oh, this is, it's getting so late that I can't get enough done or go into the office to my day job.
Yes.
So I was like, all right, you're the first person to, so that made a big difference. And then I kind of saw the difference that people helping can make. Like,
yes,
there's just you just can't get enough done in a day, I think.
Totally.
So.
Yeah, I guess there's a few different ways to apply leverage to a business, right? There's technology, there's systems, there's human capital, there's financial resourcing. At what point did you leave the day job?
Kind of like, I think I left it in either February or March. I left it probably too long. Like I was way burnt out like by that point. And yeah, I think that if I was to do that again, like definitely when I took the leap to stop is when things kind of accelerated much faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I guess there's always that delicate balance, right?
Yeah, especially like when you've been somewhere for so long. I was there for like 5 or 6 years, and then it's like a good job. I was happy with working there. And it's like, there's a lot at stake if I take the leap now. But
hey, quick interruption. When I'm not podcasting, I'm working on growing alt and working with clients as my main role as a business coach. Right now, I'm looking to meet more fellow business owners. The reason is simple. The more people I know, the more value I can bring, whether it's through coaching, the podcast, or just connecting good people. If you're based in Christchurch, let's grab a coffee. If you're further afield, let's jump on a call. Now, let's get back to the episode.
Has there been any moments in the journey where you've like feared failure?
Like I would say quite often it feels like there's like problems that are like so big that you're like, how do we get through this? But then not so much like, there was probably a couple points, where when you grow so rapidly, you have to kind of order or forecast, like we'd for example, jars at the time we'd bought, way too many for 1 month, and we had to kind of like hold our breath to get through that pinch of cash flow. Like,
yes.
There was a couple points like that, or, changing suppliers for certain things that you realize is so much more expensive. And those sorts of things are, I don't know, there's a lot of big, expensive learns in that time, I think. That,
Yeah, I love that saying, like either win or learn, right?
Yeah.
That's it. What about the raw material supply? Is that relatively stable and unlimited, or how does that work?
There's definitely limits. So far I've got like a good supply of stuff, but I think I'm not so sure. I know how much I've got access to, and I've got a bit of wiggle room. It's not something that I've had to cross paths with, but I've had to cross paths with lots of similar things.
Yeah.
So
future
just
problem.
address it when it comes up, I guess.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And is it mostly within New Zealand, or are you shipping internationally, or?
We did try ship internationally earlier, but the cost was just like not worth it the way we were doing it, like direct to consumers overseas. So it's probably the sort of thing that when I look at doing it again, it will be like shipping in mass and then having a distributor over there, just because it was costing more to ship than it was to make.
No doubt. Yeah. And so are you currently in any brick and mortar retail?
Yeah. So we're in, I think last time I checked, it was like 45 shops around the country. And so they're like mostly New Worlds and HAL 2000s at the moment. So but we've got some more coming soon.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Cool. It's good to hear.
Yeah.
How was it getting into the first retailer? And let's start with that question.
Yeah. It was quite like, compared to website and stuff, it's very fast. Like I can come up with a new idea and have it sold pretty quickly. Our first ones were supermarkets, and there's a lot of like steps you have to go through, and it takes a long time. So it's the sort of thing I had to start like ages ago, and just kind of constantly go back and forth with lots of forms and information, which is something that like I don't particularly enjoy. But it's kind of like picking the important task for the day was coming in, finishing that part of that form, send it away, wait for them to come back, and then keep yourself busy with something else in the meantime. Like,
such a good point. Like I refer to that often, like just that idea of doing the one task that is likely the most important, or the thing that might have the biggest upside, but is probably the thing you don't want to do.
Yeah, that's it. And kind of keeping that in line with what your like semi long-term vision is for where you want to go. Like it's been hard for us to kind of have too long-term of a view, because it's just been, if I had picked where I'll be at now, my goal for the year was significantly behind where I got within like 4 months, like for the whole year. Like,
wow.
So like if I had set that as the solid goal, I probably would have fallen a lot short of where I am.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to mostly? Is it the fact that the market is resonating with the product? Is it the fact that your ads are dialed in? Is it a combination of a whole bunch of different things?
I think part of it is, people who use the product, they like the product. It is like a space that is like kind of trending in the sense that, people are becoming more aware of it based off of the results and stuff that other people are seeing and that sort of thing. I think also because people have been selling like this product for a while before, like not many, but like it wasn't like a huge thing. I think where I've kind of like cut through a bit is I've been working quite closely with the Eczema Association. So they've given us a bit of like credibility and that sort of thing to, we kind of like, it's kind of just helped cut through, I guess. People before were really focusing on the benefits of like beauty side of the product.
Right.
Whereas when I was at the market and I saw all the people coming to me, a lot of it was like mothers with kids with rashes. And then that's kind of where I like honed in on that. And I was like, actually, I'm going to reach out to these guys and see, the Eczema Association and just go like, this is what's happening. I think there's something cool here going on. Like, how can we work together? And so, yeah, that's really helped. And yeah, it benefits both sides. Like, they're quite, they're like volunteers and that sort of thing. Or I think most of them are. And yeah, they're getting a lot of exposure with the stuff that we're doing as well. So they're seeing the benefit as well, which is quite cool.
Yeah, that's so cool. I mean, that's insanely good, right? Like solving a real life problem that people are, your health is number one in my mind, right?
Yeah.
Like compared to other parts of life. And so if you can physically help someone with a condition, like that must be hugely,
yeah,
good feel, right?
Yeah, it definitely makes you like, I think there's a point. So I've done like a couple of like smaller businesses and that, or like, like side hustle stuff. But when you get like the repetitive sort of, you get to a point where you're like, you're doing enough to kind of keep your food on your table sort of thing, but you're kind of like taking that next step is like, I found, like I would kind of like lose interest kind of quickly with the things in the past. Whereas we can kind of like, we get customers and they're like raving and they're so happy with what they've seen. It's, like it really kind of keeps the whole team motivated and excited about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is quite cool.
Sort of ticking multiple boxes, right? Like financially it's viable. It's doing good in the world, / helping people.
Yeah.
I'm sure the association with the Eczema crew is good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like so passionate about what they're doing as well, which is really cool.
Love
like,
that.
It kind of like I literally talked to them yesterday on a video call and like the energy of both sides there's just like a lot of, people are excited about what they're doing.
So cool. Good.
Yeah.
And do you manufacture locally in New Zealand and Christchurch?
Yeah. So we make it ourselves, all in house and then ship it out in house. We don't do any like what do you call, like 3PL or anything like that where you pass it off to get, I quite like it's been a lot more complicated because I've had to kind of build, each of these are kind of almost separate businesses in the sense when you get to a certain volume, like efficiently sending a bunch of orders out within a few days or a couple of days, there's a lot of things that can fall over. So it's like, you have to kind of, every time there's a bottleneck, I have to find, ways to make each kind of area of the business more efficient. But same with the manufacturing, I guess. So
yeah. Have you been in the same site since the beginning of the year, or have you moved? Or
no, so at the start it was at my house. We were doing the shipping and we were manufacturing in a kitchen in town here, and then we've just moved to like, that was just super inefficient because two separate teams. I had to drive back and forward, and it was really a big step when we got into a building where we could combine them both and everyone can kind of see what each other's doing and that sort of thing. So that happened in April, and I was planning on that being, that space looked huge to us then. So, but we've just had to sign a lease this morning for another space. So
really,
so that other space is going to be to hold our pallets of stock and inventory, and we're around the corner. So we'll just send that over and manufacture and ship from another place.
Wow.
Yeah.
How good.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
How big is the new space compared to the current?
I haven't actually looked at it. It's probably it's probably 3 times as big of where we are. Yeah.
Right.
So it's pretty exciting. It's got like good lighting and that sort of thing as well, which is nice for like a lot of our stuff is in-house like content, having a bright space makes that all easier and stuff as well. So
Yeah, 100%. How big's the team currently?
we're at 19 people, I would say. Yeah, we've had to grow pretty rapidly in the last few weeks. So it's interesting, and I'm still looking to add a couple more people for different areas of the business like marketing and admin and stuff. So yeah.
Gotcha. What do you think will be the next major leap that you encounter, either like in the next few months, next 6 months?
In terms of growth wise?
Yeah, just in terms of like structural changes, like in new locations, obviously a massive part of that is it more retail? Is it more ads? Is it further afield?
I think the things I'm focusing on now is pretty much repeating what I've done earlier, just adding more lines to do it, so more products, and then it will be the case of, all right, we'll have to scale up the ads to keep up with the extra products, and we'll have to, so it's just adding more width to the business, whereas before I was very focused to get the cut through, and now I've got that. It's like, how do you, and a lot of the ideas for the new products come from the customers and what they're asking for, or like what they kind of go, like for example, we released an eye cream recently, like an under eye cream, and it was just because a bunch of customers were like, oh, do you have anything for under your eyes? Because it's a bit, like it was a problem that a lot of them had.
Right.
So it's just that's kind of where I've ticked like these boxes of like, these are the things that are coming up next.
So cool. Yeah, and with scale will allow for more of that, right?
Yeah, and the team are getting more efficient. They're getting, that's probably part of it as well. Like, we can produce a lot more than we used to be able to do, even without adding a whole lot of extra stuff on in terms of equipment, because we're just getting better and better at doing things how it should be.
Yeah. It's always interesting, the guests that I've had on multiple times, and so especially when they're a year or two apart, it sort of presents an opportunity to have a time capsule, right? So as of October 2025, if we were to make some predictions for maybe this time next year or the year after, it's anyone's guess, right?
Yeah.
But we'll be able to look back on this moment
Yeah.
and any guesses that you make right now.
Yeah.
So I wonder what position you'll be in this time next year.
Exactly. Yeah. It's and it's so hard to like predict, because if you try to predict too closely, like I would never have guessed that I would be, I was at this time last year, I was just starting a broth business. So, who would have thought that?
Crazy, right?
Skincare,
It goes to show how much you can create in a relatively short amount of time.
Yeah. And I think it's, you kind of surprise yourself, I guess, if you, really, it pretty much takes up most of my time, but it's like not even tiring. Like it's like, something that's exciting because, so yeah.
Have you had people in your world, like in your community and like your circle of friends and family that are in business, or not so much?
Not so much. Like from the business side, well, my family have been involved with this business with me, but they haven't owned a business themselves. Like, so we're all kind of on the journey together, learning that.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And I guess we say, having met at IHF, a lot of the people that go there are in business. So I guess there's a bit of influence from that.
Yeah, I think so. I think also like the people, so for example, my last company I worked for, I learned a lot from like the owner there and the way he sort of approaches new products and that sort of thing. Like I've kind of tried to, you do soak up what you're around. I guess it's just, what you take with you, I guess, and how you use it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think, through the podcast, through what we do at Alt, it's constantly amazing me how many good people are out there and how many businesses are out there that you may or may not have heard of.
Yeah.
And just even within a small city like Christchurch, there's so much like cool stuff happening.
Yeah. And I think the more that I'm doing the more business that I'm doing, the more people you meet, and like they kind of like, how do I say it? Like, I don't know, that it kind of like attracts more people that are kind of like similar around you, if that makes sense. Like before I would kind of like, I didn't have the same sort of network very recently it's just kind of grown a lot, which is really cool. And you learn so much from those people.
Yeah. I just had someone in the office earlier today that's got a business and they've leaned relatively hard into creating content. And so we're just talking about how in the local environment there's a number of businesses and brands that have emerged that have taken content as their primary marketing angle, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Some in the food and beverage space, but you just think of like a few examples where they've spent a lot of time and energy and money on content versus say traditional ads or traditional marketing. I'm not sure if you noticed or know Oakley with Cleaner Cars, who was on the podcast, but he's grown his business largely from social media and short form video.
Yeah. I think I know who you're talking about. He's I think he's down the street from my. Yeah.
Yeah, just down the road.
Yeah.
Because was that a big part of getting going for you? Organic content or?
Most of mine's been paid.
Mostly paid, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. So we do a bit of like organic stuff, but it's more just like informative about the product, or like it's not really resulted in much sales. It's definitely something I need to focus more on. I think there's like a lot of opportunity there, but I think for the speed, you get a lot of benefit. There's a lot of benefit to spending as long as you can get a good like return on the ads. Then that's the way I've been looking at it. Like I can learn pretty quickly if I'm going to get results from a new product, for example. I could know by the end of the day, sort of thing, based off of an ad. Yeah, so,
totally. Yeah. It's again that leverage and looking at those commodities that we've got available to us, right? You got the time, you got the energy, and you got the money. So I constantly am just questioning how do you best use those resources and leverage them most effectively.
And there's different. You're like, if you don't try a lot of different things, you don't spot the things that have like the disproportionate return. Like a lot of people do quite well with TikTok. I've not been able to get that to work for us the same way, but I've tested a couple of times. Maybe it's the way you use it. I'm not sure, but yeah, I've had like other social media platforms and ads like on Google and stuff seem to be a good source for us. But,
Have you spent much time on TikTok as a consumer of content?
Not myself. Yeah, I mean, I used to like spend a bit of time scrolling and stuff, but lately I'm just so busy that it's like secondary to I've not had time. But a lot of my staff and stuff, they'll bring up, we should be doing this, we should be doing that, but I'm like, because I'm not in that circle, it's not something I've focused on. So there's probably definitely opportunities. It's just I'll stick to what I know for now.
100%. And if the ads are working and they're scaling and they're profitable, then happy days, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Have you found that sweet spot yet, or have you found that point of diminishing returns with ads, or is it totally dependent on product?
I think definitely last month we probably got close to that point. So that's where, I think it's partially probably diminishing returns on the ads, but I think it's probably even just saturation of the market, like, or a lot of the people that we're able to sell to have already got our jars in their house, So, I think it's just coming up with other ways to kind of continue that working. But,
Have you got any subscription products, or are they all one-off purchases?
At the moment, they're all one-off. I do like a 3-pack. I do like bundles. I have been, it's definitely a big opportunity to do subscriptions and stuff. And I've had customers ask for it, but the technical setup and the time has just not been a focus for me to get that stuff done. So
got it. Yeah. Is it not just an easy add-on, or?
If I was smart with the way I've set up my website, it would have been probably, but I built it like myself. So plugging in stuff like that is not so easy.
Gotcha.
Again, it's like a thing of like, I wanted control over everything. And probably I was better off getting something off the shelf, but you try to save a few bucks early on that costs you a lot more later on. So
interesting, right?
Yeah.
And that previous version of yourself, it made total sense, right?
Yeah.
You're like I want control. This is the way we're doing it.
Yeah. But I would never, like back then I was probably saving like $50 or something. But what the opportunity cost of not doing subscriptions is probably a lot more than that now. But as you get more locked to the platforms you've built, because there's more volume, it becomes a bigger and bigger task to switch.
Exactly.
So you just kind of, and don't put the blinders on and just leave it for it to, you know.
It would be interesting doing the maths on that though, wouldn't it? Just seeing what it could look like if you were to launch a subscription offering.
Yeah, I know a lot of businesses do quite well with it, and it's pretty like, you know, if I had gone that other way, it would have been like a, you know, $50 subscription and an on button to get it going. So, yeah.
It's surprising how many brands, bumble that process though. Like there's one I can think of that I definitely won't be naming, but you know, I love the product. I'd quite like a subscription, but their e-commerce just isn't robust enough to handle it. And, you know, like it's just shocking to me, right? Like, especially in the era we're in where tech is as accessible as it's ever been.
Yeah.
You know,
like, it's like an easy setup. That's the thing.
Totally.
I think I also kind of err on the side of like, because I've had such a volume of customers, there's a lot of, I have to kind of keep things very simple to keep it streamlined. If I do something that's kind of complicated, there's so many opportunities for it to fail in a big way. So that's why I'm kind of also avoiding touching it now. There was probably a sweet spot, you know, in March or February to do that where it would have made sense. But if I break something now, it's like a lot of people affected. So it's kind of, a bit more risky, I guess.
Totally, yeah. And I guess you got this day that resets every day, you know, this time that resets, and handling the most critical task on the day is what you've got to do. But I guess it's the hard part, right? It's like simultaneously doing that, but then also having one eye on the future.
Yeah.
And how you split that balance.
Yeah, and then judging like what each of these things you could be doing is worth to you, like setting like a, you know, what is, how much is a form with a retailer worth to me filling right now versus how much is me creating an ad right now, like, and then I guess it's just, that's one thing I find, or like one thing I found is like, if I keep getting sucked into the wrong problems by, you know, whether it's the team bringing them up lots of times or, you know, just whichever, then I know that, all right, I have to hire someone else to put them there so that I can keep doing these important things. It's the, you know, that's something I'm learning is like removing myself from the problems that don't really make the big value.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, one concept that I talk about a lot is the idea of a $30 an hour task versus a $5,000 an hour task. And the discrepancy exists in that, you know, if you're able to sign on a new retailer or, you know, refine an ad set so that it's optimized, that's probably going to yield $5K an hour versus, you know, hiring someone at $30 an hour. Give or take, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the same as like sitting here. If I was sitting there shipping orders all day, all of these other ones are getting, you know, left behind. So,
yeah, it just sort of amplifies the point of not getting sucked into the wrong problems, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, but yet it's so easy to do, isn't it?
Yeah. And now it's kind of like a case of teaching my like team the same thing. It's like, right, well, maybe we need to be getting a photographer to take these photos because you're spending your whole day taking photos instead of making ads. Like, you know, like working back, dividing up their time as well as the next step, I guess.
Yeah. And I think the way the world's working is that we're sort of leaning more toward a society of being a bit more focused around productivity or profitability versus hard work and just like working for 23 hours a day doing these $30 an hour tasks. I mean, I know there's still value in putting in the work and the effort, but also ultimately you can't just work any more hours, right?
No.
There's a cap. So
it gets to a point when this problem you physically can't solve yourself. So
exactly.
like if you keep doing that, you're just going to burn yourself out. That's one thing that we find like for the manufacturing is like we keep getting sucked into the manufacturing when the volume goes up. And then it's like, oh, now our whole team are like, you know, a lot of us who should be doing marketing, admin, or, you know, these things because we know how to make them, we'll go over there. And then we're like, actually, we need to add people now. So yeah.
What was the were you on the news recently?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big moment for us. Yeah.
How did it come about?
How did that start? I got a text from the journalist lady, and she, like, I kind of missed a call from her, and I got a text, and she got my contact from someone else, and she wanted to do a story on the beef tallow as a space overall, And yeah, it was definitely that was on the back of one of our like biggest weeks as well, I think, at that time. So I was already kind of like, oh man, how are we gonna make this work to get them in to film, and
Yes.
but it was definitely worth it for us to, there was a point on there where we had like 1,500 people on the site at one moment going through the website when it was on the TV, which was pretty exciting. Like, it was a lot of adrenaline watching that, and then we're like, oh no, now we've got to like fulfill these orders.
Yeah, right.
So it was pretty cool.
What's the normal traffic amount before then? Like roughly?
We might have gotten before that time maybe 3,500 people through in a whole day, and we had 1,500,
in a moment.
in one like actively on there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So.
And how many, like, was it a insane conversion both immediately and like the next couple of days afterward, or?
Yeah, it kind of, the next sort of, so that from that moment for the next like 3 days was like hugely elevated. And then it kind of went, it kind of settled down a bit, but it's kind of always maintained that higher sort of volume since then. I think it's just the awareness and then, that sort of thing. So.
Is there any location for that content online, or is it?
We have it like pinned on our Instagram at the moment, so you can like watch the whole thing.
Oh, cool, nice.
But I don't know, maybe on like TVNZ or something like that. 7 Sharp's one.
Yeah. Oh, it's great if you've been able to leverage that and have it.
Yeah, it was quite nice that they just gave us the full file. So
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and was it? Do you have to pay for that or no?
No. Yeah, so it was quite cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I found like people, especially because we were like, there's an online only website. There's a lot kind of behind the scenes that people don't really get to see, and once they kind of, the TV was really good for showing the people involved, showing we've got this sort of team who are like quite dedicated and that sort of thing. It kind of like, there's a lot less like kind of like trolling and that sort of thing online, and like people are a lot more kind of they see these people behind the scenes, not like robots trying to sell jars.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's interesting. Have you encountered a bit of that? Have you encountered a bit of negativity? And
definitely. So when we were in the press earlier on, and we just were not ready for that growth. That was the same week we were moving buildings from my house to like an actual, shipping and also bringing the manufacturing in one place. So we were already kind of on the back foot, and then there was Easter, and then there was another public holiday like within 2 weeks of each other, and so we went on the press the day before all those public holidays, and we were moving. So there was a massive spike in sales. We were already kind of behind, well, not much, but like a couple of days, and we couldn't physically get like the supplies for weeks, because when we placed the order, there was like, we just weren't seasoned enough to know, oh, we should prepare for this. And, because it was like they messaged me on like the Thursday. I'm like, right, we're coming in tomorrow and we're going to do this. And I was like, okay, cool. I can't say no to that. But, there's a lot of inputs that go into the product, and, so that led to long wait times to a company that has not got a huge sort of following or presence online in terms of, reviews and that sort of thing. People are like, have I been scammed because I'm waiting like 2 or 3 weeks for my order? But it was literally like, just there was so much volume that we had to catch up. So there was a window of time around that there was a lot of people like, more negative towards us, but it was really mostly around us being able to get the stuff out.
right.
And also I was not the best at like, at that time this is my first experience with running a business or handling customers in that sort of way. So my response or the way I handled things then was not as good as it will be now. So yeah, there's a lot of learning around that time.
The win or learn, right?
Yeah, that's it. And it was a stressful time, but not something I'm complaining about.
Nah, it's a weird correlation though, don't you think, between hard times and learning and growing and knowing how to navigate situations similar and or different in the future. I think that gives you the ability to, I guess, grow, but then also compartmentalize things and I guess be better.
Yeah.
Just be a better operator.
Yeah. Things feel very like big in the moment, but then once you kind of get past it, you're like, I can handle that again. And it's kind of a case of just, I'm finding it's like, now I've got this stack of things like, oh, we got through that, we got through this, we got through that. So this one's okay, you know, like.
Totally.
Whereas, but they do always seem bigger and bigger each time. So it's kind of like, in terms of, yeah, like it seems big at the time, but later you kind of, yeah.
Bigger and different, right?
Yeah.
It's all a game, isn't it? Game of business.
Yeah.
Not for everyone.
No. Yeah, I could definitely, but I do enjoy that, like, you know, there's something a bit different to going into work and you're solving all these problems versus going in and, you know, you're solving, part of it's like, these are problems that I've generated for myself. So, you know, yeah, I guess, yeah, I don't know. It's, yeah.
Reminds me of that saying or that like concept of, I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, but, you know, like if someone owes the bank, say like 20 grand, it's like, the problem's on the individual, right, to pay that back. Whereas when that person owes like $1 billion, it's almost like the bank's problem.
Yeah.
So it sort of flips around the dynamic.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
they've
yeah.
let themselves get in that position to lend someone so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, you know, one of the speakers at the Momentum event earlier in the year, that was his big thing, right? He's like, the most important thing of an entrepreneur or a business owner is to be able to solve problems. And whether they're big problems or small problems, it's the same thing, right? It's the same like wiring, I think, like that ability to troubleshoot and sort of think on the fly and I guess apply both creativity, but then also like logic and reasoning and I guess the ability to see into the future and just like what those second, third order consequences may be.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then when you remove this problem, you get that extra growth or whatever that's holding back, and that leads to the next thing. And it's just like a constant process.
It's a pendulum too, isn't it? You know, like, you get more ads, get more revenue, but then the production needs to keep up and back and forth.
Yeah. That's where I'm finding like having a few like people casual that can go between is definitely quite useful. Like that's definitely the thing is like I either solve a sales problem or I solve a production problem. Back and forth, yeah.
Do you have an end goal or an end sort of vision or?
No, so I think because we have like kind of like since the start we always kind of had like the mission of like what it is. It's like to help as many Kiwis as possible with dry and irritated skin. So we kind of like look for any sort of, so at the moment it's been, you know, originally it was bringing out volume of those products. And then now it's like, right, well, most people are aware of these are the other products that can help in different ways for those people. And then I guess, you know, a lot of it also is you can give the people the products and, you know, the skincare, but if they don't know how to use it in the way, they may have the right thing for them, but it's like they may not have the knowledge of like how to use it effectively to solve the problem. Like one thing I learned from the Eczema Association was if you go with the hair, it's less likely, with the moisturizer, it's less likely to irritate or give you like an infection or something.
Wow.
So it's like so it's like finding ways to distribute that knowledge is probably a cool thing for us to, or something that we're wanting to do is, work with people like them to help inform people and, you know.
That's cool. Yeah. Because a lot of the time when you get a product, there's a lot of unknowns, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if, you know, brands as a whole do a great job of that education piece. Like obviously a lot do, but, you know, how do you present that as well, right? Like is it short form? Is it long form? Is it QR codes on the product? Like who knows, right?
Yeah, there's so many different ways. And it's like, I can't be, like I am myself, not the expert on this stuff, but I have access to people who are experts on that, but they may not have the resources to get their information to the people that need it as well. So we can kind of, you know, bounce off each other in that sense.
And that's the cool thing with collaborations like that, right?
Yeah.
It's, I mean, I love a win-win deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Or ideally like a win-win-win, like a triple win.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's, again, like the new way of thinking. I think historic business, and I think, you know, going way, way, way back, it was more like win-lose, right? Like in order for someone to win, someone else needs to lose. But just don't see it that way anymore.
Yeah. There's always some sort of synergy with whether it's a, complementary product or someone else that does a service.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of products, shout out to the brand new beverage sponsor, Damn Good Water.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
It is really cool. Yeah. I'm a big fan of people like yourself, Curtis, just doing stuff, right? Like creating something out of nothing. I find that's like such a amazing thing about business is that, before last year, that didn't exist, right? You've created that out of nothing, which is incredible.
Yeah.
When it's a physical product, it's really cool to see it, but services are cool as well. It's just
and you kind of like, I find like when I go and talk to people who are like also producing, like there's so much to talk about. Like it's like an exciting conversation because they've got the same problems. You know what I mean? It's interesting.
I worked in a retail or an e-commerce business briefly, and even just the stock and ordering and there is a lot to it, right? Let alone if you're manufacturing. So
yeah. It's just the same again, but just with a few extra layers, I guess.
Totally, right? Yeah. And so I totally understand the hesitation with the subscription thing because it's yet another component, right?
Yeah. And you have to keep the people happy. So it's how do I keep them happy without making it, leaving extra layers of it being complicated leaves more opportunities for it to not, go well.
Yeah.
That's one thing, like, I can't remember where I heard it was online. I was trying to do all these like really complicated businesses earlier on, you brainstorm and make it like a real big thing. But then someone said something about there's like different levels of business. Like you can choose like I don't know how to say it, like a less complicated product and start with that. And then you kind of level up to a more complicated product or a more complicated service. And that's kind of like, that's where the broth thing kind of started. I was like, right, well, it's not like the thing that I'm like hugely passionate about. It solves a little problem, but this could be like the first thing to kind of learn from and then move from that. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a good way to approach it. It's a bit like when, when I run into maybe less experienced entrepreneurs or aspiring business owners that have got some new idea, right? Some new concept, and they're simultaneously merging these things together and trying to solve some problem that may exist, it may not, right?
Yeah.
And it's doing it on hard mode.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas if you're in a space that already exists, proven market, a lot easier.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it's also like your own skills. Like it's like you're learning business, but you're also learning to produce, but you're like, I was talking to someone not long ago who was starting like a supplement company. And it was the regulatory and all these other things that you have to learn on top of learning business makes it quite a big beast to kind of get on top of. Whereas starting with something kind of simple just to get yourself going. Yeah. Like I did like a few different things on the side before this that kind of all the pieces together kind of led to this working. But if I sat and just tried to find like the perfect thing from the start, I wouldn't have done any of it. So yeah,
there's definitely something in that. Like my first business ever was a firewood business.
Yeah.
Simple, right?
Yeah.
Get the wood, cut it up, sell it.
Yep.
Easy.
That's a good one. Yeah. And then
easy-ish, right? Yeah.
And so you're learning to get the inventory, to improve the value of it, and then it would be like the sales side as well.
Yeah.
And then you,
Yeah. I watched some video recently about New Zealand as a whole, like as a nation, and just how like we don't really have the strongest economy because of the fact that we don't really do a lot of value add type business. It's mostly exporting like raw or only processed items. So like dairy and wood and whatnot.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It was it was kind of interesting, kind of boring, but it was also kind of depressing.
Yeah.
Because we don't have like a super robust like base of business essentially, right?
Or like companies or the facilities there to just manufacture big volume like overseas would. Like we're not very competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
But then there's a thing to be said about like New Zealand made stuff people here like to buy more. Like, you could probably send a bunch of the stuff to get manufactured somewhere else cheaply or whatever. But then, people kind of like that they can, see the people making it and yeah, there's a lot of benefits to that, I think.
I think that's another swing that at least I'm sensing at the moment. Like I'm loving the New Zealand made thing versus, I mean, this table is a great example. Table sponsor. Every podcast should have a table sponsor.
Yeah.
But, locally made with New Zealand wood, New Zealand steel. How cool, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be around for a long time, this thing.
Yeah, that's it. And it's solid and
it's got a story.
Job.
It's like, supporting local artisans. Like, I reckon that's really cool.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a time and a place for imported products, but as I say, I think there's a swing happening the other way.
Yeah, definitely also for stuff that people, skincare is something that people are putting on themselves. Like it's quite like it affects their bodies and, things that are close to you. I can kind of see especially on that side.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm pumped to see where you get to this time next year. That'll be a fun episode.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to doing that.
Yeah.
If you're up for it.
Yeah, I'm keen. Definitely.
Yeah. I don't know if there's going to be subscriptions available by then, but I'm willing to bet money there will be.
Probably. Yeah. No, it'll be good.
In the meantime, though, website, social media, it'll all be linked below. And with those retailers currently, did you mention New World?
Yeah, so I'm in New World, Pack and Save, Health 2000.
Yeah.
We've got Chemist Warehouse and Bargain Chemist, both looking to go as well. So
amazing.
Hopefully next year
yeah.
we'll be in all of those.
So that's super cool because e-commerce is great and convenient, but sometimes it is cool just being able to physically pick it up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a sort of next progression. I think a lot of people go online and then,
brick and mortar.
That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Thanks to Damn Good Water, Troy, legend, table sponsor, Distinct, all the sponsors. It's all good. I love it. We'll see you back soon.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.